This week's shootout with an ISIS-inspired terrorist on Paris's famed Champs-Élysées could be enough to drastically change the future of Europe. Voters head to the polls tomorrow in France's most unpredictable and perhaps significant election of our time, something they are certainly watching this weekend here at the White House. The attack is fresh meat for Marine Le Pen, the far right-wing nationalist candidate that wants France out of the European Union and has talked a lot about France's immigration issues. Gilles Kepel is the author of Terror in France, The Rise of Jihad in the West, and joins us now from Paris. Good to see you, sir.
Hello.
Our Greg Palcott on the ground in Paris covering the election reported that 1/3 of French voters have not decided how they will cast their ballots tomorrow. The question is, how big of an effect has this latest attack, the third significant attack in just a few months, had on voters?
Well, it's not clear that, the Islamic State terrorists are going to be able to take the French election hostage as they had intended to from the scratch. Because, this attack took place after a respite of more than 9 months, because the last attack happened in July 2016. In the meanwhile, a number of attacks have been foiled by French intelligence, who managed to nip them in the bud. And when you look at what is happening in the pseudo-caliphate, the ISIS fighters are now being tracked down by the coalition bombing, they are being droned, and they don't have that time and that capacity to perform efficient attacks on European soil, in French soil in particular. So the only thing they could do, and it was of course bad enough, was to kill this policeman the other night. But this, I believe, is not going to be able to change the mind of voters. I don't think that voters will vote in a panic for the extreme right. On the contrary, it looks like, the matter was handled rather well after years of difficulties by the police, because they have managed to break
Kepel,
the code and the software on that.
Mr. Kepel, the President of the United States at least seems to disagree with you, obviously, from across the Atlantic Ocean. But here's what he tweeted about another terror attack in Paris. The President writing, "The people of France will not take much more of this, will have a big effect on the presidential election." Let's zoom out here a little bit and think about the presidential election, not only in terms of the terror attacks, but also in terms of what it means for France, its membership in the European Union, also in terms of what it means for the United States. How significant could the result be in terms of a change of the geopolitical structure we've seen for so many decades?
Well, I hate to disagree with the President of the United States, of course, but it's not that sure that Marine Le Pen, the far-right candidate who wants France out of the European Union, will win. The last polls still show that after the attack show that Emmanuel Macron, who's the sort of a center-left-right candidate, is still slightly ahead of her, and we're going to have a second term.
And I want to, just to pick up on that, Marine Le Pen may not be the best candidate in terms of the United States. She's very anti-American. We've also heard a number of U.S. even neoconservative analysts look at this and say Macron's response to this latest terrorist attack, some even called inspiring.
No, I believe that, Marine Le Pen is the only candidate that visited Trump's headquarters among French candidates or French hopefuls. But I don't think that she's going to be able to make it as of now. So we'll have to wait until, of course, tomorrow night when we have the results of the first round. She's probably going to be a candidate for the second round.
Yeah.
She's been one of the first front runners, but who's going to be the other one is still the point. The person who's leading now is Emmanuel Macron in the polls. Will he be able to capitalize on that, or is it because you just mentioned,
Professor, we got to run,
are
sir,
still
I apologize.
undecided?
We got to run. I apologize. Results tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern from Paris already. It'll be 8 p.m. there. Gilles Kepel, appreciate your insights, sir. Thank you.